So think of this. You've been making predictions and winning all your predictions back to back, and your money has been growing. But without even expecting it, you start to lose all your bets. So in this video, what you're going to learn is the 3 ways that I use to control my emotions whenever I'm having a bad run. And at the end of the video, I'm also going to share with you how I come out of those bad runs. But before I proceed, please click the like button and subscribe if you are new to the channel. So right now, I am currently in a bad run myself for the month of April. As at the time of making this video, I have actually lost 6 out of 10 bets I have placed in the past few days. But this is something I am very much used to due to my experience, and it's something I know I consistently come out of. So I want to show you what it looks like for a professional tipster to go through a bad phase and how we handle it. Another reason I also made this video is because most times when people make consecutive wins, they usually end up being scared of placing any more bets because they are scared of losing their profits. So I believe this will be a great time for me to explain the free approach I use to handle my emotions. Let me start by showing you this chart on Excel I use to track my stake and profit over time. For this chart you see here, I'm using the last 10 games on my Bettors share I just showed you now to plot my progress. And as you can see, it's just a graph that shows you the amount of money you've made on the left hand side and the number of rounds you've played over here at the bottom. What this graph does for me is that it shows me my progress, and all I need to do is input my wins and losses on this table to get my results. And if you think you may need this chart to track your progress, you can send me a message on WhatsApp, request for it, and I'll send it to you. So whenever I'm winning and making profits with each round I play, the line on the graph will be going higher. But when I start to lose, the line starts to go down. You can see that from the start point of the graph, my balance is negative, and that's from the first 2 losses I had. Normally in football prediction, most people already know that there will be losses when it comes to making predictions. But the thing is that not everybody is prepared for consecutive losses. So someone coming into this with high expectation will believe that the graph will always be going up for them, and if it's going to go down at all, it's just going to be once in a while. But the reality is that in betting, having consecutive losses is a part of the business. So if you come prepared and you see it as a business, you actually understand that there will be times when it's going to go down as if there's a whale in your boat, and there will be times when it's going to go up like you're having a Starship rocket. So let's talk about the cases where you've gone on a very good winning streak and you're in profit, or you're having a very bad run and your emotion starts to take over. That kind of emotion is what causes most people to blow their profits or make them have more losses if they're already losing. So you have to understand that your ability to handle your emotions when you're having a good run or you're on a losing streak will be the difference between if you'll be able to make money or lose money in this game. So for my graph, you can actually see that the progress of my line is telling you that the losses is definitely going to happen regardless of how good you are, and I'm even on a 3-match losing streak while making this video. But even with that, I don't panic. I'm not going to increase my stake, I'm not going to reduce my stake, and I'm also not going to say because the line I'm having is starting to go down, then I need to give up. Because I know the most important thing I need to do right now is to handle my emotions. So before you go into football predictions or any predictions at all, you must have it in mind to expect losses and see it as something that is normal if you want to reap the reward. And this is the point where I'm going to share with you how I control my emotions when I'm having a losing streak and winning streak. So something you have to know is that the more games you lose, the more you'll be tempted to do some stupid things like rebet a ticket that is losing, create a new ticket, or stake high on your next ticket just to recover. And all of this will make you lose more money. So how do you control the amount of money you're going to lose when you're on a bad run? What you want to do at this time is to apply something called risk management. And to explain what this is, I'm going to break it down to you into 3 parts. And the first part is your capital. Your capital is the amount of money based on what you earn that you can comfortably set aside just for betting. And if you're someone who earns 100,000 monthly, you can decide to take out 20,000 from that earning just for that month as your capital. So that 20,000 you took out from your salary is the only money you'll be using to stake for that month. And that brings us to the second part of risk management, which is your stake power. And when it comes to stake power, you actually get it from your capital. So if you've set aside 20,000 as your capital for the month, you can decide to make your stake power 1,000 for every ticket you play that month. So the idea here is that if you decide to go for 1,000 as your stake power, it means that you'll be able to stake 1,000 20 times for the month. And if you decide to go for 5,000 as your stake power, it means that you'll be able to stake 5,000 4 times from your 20,000 naira capital. So you have to make sure when choosing your stake power from your capital, you have to do that based on how many bets you wish to play for the month. And the last part of risk management is your running bets, and this is basically just keeping track of how many bets you can have running in a day. So based on that, I would say that the number of tickets anyone should play in a day should not be more than 6. But the problem here is that many of you follow many tipsters online and you play everything that comes your way, which is very bad if you want to make money. So to make this third part actually work for you, you have to make sure you cut off a lot of unnecessary games you play from the tipsters who give you free games online. Make sure you are only playing a few games for the day, regardless of whether you lose or not. Keep it simple, keep it short, keep it few. So to avoid losing money on the long run, you need to apply risk management. Another reason why my emotion does not control me when I'm having a bad run is because of something I also do, which is to visit my Telegram channel and go through all my previous bet tickets and look at all the strategies I have used in the past on those tickets and see which one of them would still work for me in the present. So if I was having a bad run, the information I get from doing that is going to tell me what strategy I'm going to use next. So going back to see what I've done in the past that worked for me is one way I usually bounce back from bad runs. To give you an example, I'm going to show you how I do that on my Telegram channel. So first thing I do is open up my Telegram channel, J Football Predictions, and go through all the tickets I have won from as far back as 2014. And what I do is that I make sure to take note of details like how many matches are on those tickets, what are the odds I used on those tickets, and what are the tips I combine to get my total odds on the tickets. And when I figure out the pattern that works for me, then what I do next is to test the pattern. And after testing is complete, the result I get will tell me which strategy to go for. So remember that whenever you're having a bad run, testing your previous strategy is another way to bounce back. And if you don't go back to the drawing board once in a while to see what made you win, then it's really going to be difficult for you to control your emotions when having a bad run. And as for me though, I actually have a lot of strategies I have used over the years, and I actually go back to test those strategies before I decide on what to go on with. So for a recap on what I've said so far, what you need to do if you want to keep your emotions in check whenever you're having a bad run is to use risk management and also to test your previous strategies. This is going to prevent you from losing and help you see betting as a business. So guys, I hope you learned something from this video, and if you did, you would likely want to join my membership platform on WhatsApp where I give the best 10 odd tips daily you can make money from. You can message me on WhatsApp with the numbers on your screen or on my social media platform at JSoccerTips for membership inquiries. Don't forget to subscribe and like this video, and if you have any question, leave them in the comments and I'll do well to answer it before my next post. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.